Hello, everyone. Happy Friday. We have made it to the last day of July. Merry Christmas in July. Thank you for coming along on this little ride with me, and I hope that you've enjoyed all of the projects. So, tonight is a special one. I saw a friend make it, and it's like, oh, where'd you get that from? So, she shared the instructions with me, and I reached out and I asked the person who made it, said, do you mind? And she is fine with it. So thank you so much to Brenda Quintana. Her last name again. Hi and hello. I am Brenda Sellers. Thank you for joining tonight, and I hope that you enjoy this. And I wanted a place to keep all of our cards that we've made this month. And I just looked and was like, that's a lot of cards. There's a few other projects that we did too, but so we'll see. I'll show you all at the end. Are you ready to get started? Oh, and just to let you know, here in the state of Tennessee, it's the first day of tax-free for school things. So that may be where people are. So let me share my screen and we'll just get started. All right, we're playing with real red and some more designer series paper from a stitched season. So we start with 2 pieces of cardstock. I'm going to lay these over here out of the way. These 2 pieces of cardstock are cut 10.5 by 8.5. And on one of them over here, grab our score board. Ignore the markers. We're just going to score where our instructions tell us to. On the long side, we're going to score at 3.5 and at 10. See, those two are in the right place. And then we're going to turn it so that our 1/2 inch is up here, and we are going to score it at the 5-inch mark. And we're going to do that for both of our pieces that are 10.5 by 8.5. Lay you right there. So on the long, at 3.5, at 10, turn it so that it's at the top, and we're going to score it at 5. We're just going to do all of the scoring first so I can lay this dude out of the way. Our liner, because it's going to be lined, that is 10 by 5. And this is going to get scored on the long side at 3 5/8. There's 4, 5. Again. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5/8 right here, that little mark. And then for our lid, it is 9 9/16 by 6 9/16, and we're going to score it at the 1.5 on all 4 sides. So 1.5, 1.5, 1.5, and 1.5. And we are done with scoring. So I'm going to lay this friend over here. And we're going to start with the box. All right. So now we cut along the score lines. We're going to turn it like this. And this is not needed. And then we are going to just score or cut that line. So let me grab my snips. On these little dudes, I don't know why I call them that, but these little spots, I'm going to do it at an angle. so that when it is all folded in, you don't see that tippy corner. And now let's cut this off. I cut on the inside of the score line, if that makes sense. Can you see? And then that just comes right off. And then we're going to cut a slit. So I'm going to cut on both sides of this score line. And that just, when you fold your box together, it gives it a little bit of wiggle room and it's not butted right up against each other. Trying to cut this side a little more straight. All right, we're going to do that to both of these pieces. Always start with trimming a little sliver off there, off there. Start wherever it makes sense to you to start. Then slit. So on this side, I'm trying to keep it as straight as possible up by that score line. Hey, Laurie. Hi, Adrian. See, I'm early tonight, ladies. It is 7:38 Eastern time. And honestly, I don't know if this little box is going to hold all of the cards that we've made this month. We shall see. It will be a nice little gift for whoever gets it, filled with lots and lots of goodies. All right, so now we are going to lay one of these back up here. Let's work on folding these up on the score lines, giving them a good burnish. Same with this one. All right, and we are going to put, let's go ahead and fold this one. Fold it over. Fold these up. Fold in. I know adhesive goes on both of these. So let's do that. And we're using tear and tape because it is pretty strong and holds boxes and bags together much better than Stampin' Seal. So when our box is folded together, that goes on the inside. And this tag is going to slide between those two. Just like that. How about that? So now I laid it together, put it together like this so I know where else to put glue or the tear tape. So let me lay the boxes out. So that's in the right spot. We're going to put adhesive on both of those flaps. I'll run my bone folder on those to get it to stick down better. I might be overdoing it, but this box is going to be packed. So I want to make sure it holds together. And having a double layer on the bottom, these two pieces reinforces it and holds it tighter. It is a good size box. The finished measurements is 6.5 by 5 by 3.5. It uses 3 pieces of cardstock, and it uses our designer series paper is 10 by 5. So let's fold it back up, see where else we need adhesive. So I need it on this right here. And I probably only need it on these two corners because this is what would kind of be flappy. But again, I want to give it some support and weight. I'm going to put adhesive by all of the support lines. And hey, Beth, I haven't seen you before. Thanks for joining live tonight. Nice to meet you. All right, let's bone folder, give those good back rub there. So that's going to go just like so. All right, are you ready? Let's put it together. Whew. Okay, let's take, I'm going to set it up again just so that I know. I want that flappy between those. And this between those. All right. I think we're ready. That is a good size box. Okay. Oof. Let's peel some tear and tape off. Take this one off. There we go. And up. And match those sides. All right, before I get too carried away, let's go ahead and take it off the bottom. Because once this guy went up, I wouldn't be able to reach those pieces on the inside. Okay. Now we're ready. Making sure it stays square or rectangle, actually. All right. And now this piece comes off. And these come off. This does not want to cooperate. All right. And that gets tucked between. Right like so. There is our box. And you can put your hand in there or your bone folder to give those a good little rub. All right, the next part is our two pieces of liner. It's designer series paper for the liner for it. So we've scored it at the 3 5/8 mark. It says to trim 1/16 off of both short sides and one long side. All right, so on your paper trimmer, see where it's tan or brown? I go right over to the edge of that. So we're going to do it on both of our short sides. And one of our long sides. And that's the side that I'll tuck down at the bottom. Come out of that. There we go. So that'll get folded and it'll tuck in our bottom. Yep. Let's do off the long side while we've got it here. To the groove. And off of both of our short sides. And that gives the inside of our box a little something something too. Makes it a little more fancy. I think that's all of the trimming for now. Give that a good little crispy fold. And this one a crispy fold. And I'm going to run tear and tape across the top and the side. This you could probably use regular adhesive, something so strong. Tear and tape tonight. The trick to it, when you get ready to put it in your box, make sure it's where you want it. Tear and tape is a very strong adhesive. Doesn't look like it by being able to tear it, but it does definitely do what it's supposed to. All right, give those a good little burnish. Peel them off. Got it folded because this is going to cover that little, see the little flap inside there? That way when you put your cards and things in there, it doesn't get caught. So I'm going to just lay it just like so. Just laying it in there, tucking it over, and there we have it. All right, peel these. And I did it upside down. Okay, so it needs adhesive on this side too. That's quite all right. A little extra adhesive didn't hurt anybody, did it? Oh, and I started going sideways. And nobody will know our trees are upside down. Hi, Lynette. Hey, Beck. Woohoo, I got a whole bunch of friends watching. So I'm just going to lay this down inside the box. Since now I have adhesive on the top and the bottom, make sure you get it where you want it, all the way at the bottom, and then gently push it over. There we go. And then a good little, adding that designer series paper in there definitely gives it some strength. All right, now for our lid. Our lid is 9 9/16 by 6 9/16. Good luck doing that in metric. But you would want it to fit your cards anyway. All right. Oh, this one side here. All right. And now we're going to cut little slits right here. So put our box together. Again, because this is going to be on the outside, I want that strip to be as straight as possible. So I'm cutting right up by the score line, giving me a little angle on this one. So right next to the score line. And then you can give yourself a little. Lots of friends watching. Thank you. It is hot here. My Santa is making it even warmer. So it is not a myth that if you're cold and you cover your head, that will help you stay warm. You do have a friend that can help you convert it to metric. It wouldn't happen to be a little blue ruler, would it? All right, so now we are going to put adhesive on these little flaps. And again, I'm sticking with my tear and tape. Sticking to me. It's already Saturday in Australia. My friend just finished her breakfast with Beck class. So if you guys need some inspiration, she's the one to help you get some more inspiration. I think it's good that we follow lots of friends on Facebook. All right, so we want to make sure that this is pretty square. So we're going to line those up, take our tear and tape off. I'm getting me a friend. This is one of the accessories off of the Take Your Pick tool, and I don't have it tucked inside one, but I don't need to. I can see how easy that was to just pop him right under there, and that lifts that tape backing right off. Let's twist. It's really pokey though, so be careful, don't poke yourself with it, because that's exactly something that I would do. All right. Now we're ready to put our lid together. I'm going to leave him spread out like that and tuck him this way so that it definitely fits over the box. Tuck those little flappies in and then tuck that over. Sure, there we go. Let's lift it up this way. So tuck those little flappies where I put the adhesive and then just close it down. We know the lid fits the box perfectly. All right, are we ready to decorate the lid? Probably should have done that first, but I didn't. All right, that is a good, oh, you're supposed to stay still here. And you got a little sidewalk. There we go. And rub these so that they definitely stick. Okay. So I've already got, Chris, I've already got the pieces and parts to do the lid. So this is from a stitch season because that is what we have played with the whole month of July. So if you need some inspiration for a stitched season cards or projects, there's bunches of them. And I will put them all on the desk in just a minute. So that's going to go right like that. We are going to piece it here. In the center of the box. Then we're not done. We've got some little strippies to go around it. And I'm going to do just like so. Okay. But leaving it on the body of the box is giving it some stability for me so that I don't. These are 1-inch strips. All right, and I'm just pinching them. So let's add some adhesive to the back of that. And I left it uncapped last time. Come on. Let's just get another one. Tip of the day, put your cap back on your adhesive. Before you leave your craft room, or you might wind up like I just did. I'll just grab a pin and poke it in there and it'll be fine. These are 1-inch strips. Hold it on for a minute or two. And let's get up. Let's go ahead and put it on. Add glue as I go around it. Hold. It doesn't take very long for it to dry. Maybe. And then make sure it's lined up with its friend over here. There we go. And you can't tell where the seam is. Isn't that cool? All right. Hold it on for a second or more. There we go. And we're still not done. All right. So here is not, I mean, you definitely would know, but you can decorate this however you want. I'm going to put this stitched shaped circle, use adhesive, liquid adhesive, right in the middle. Eyeball it. You don't have to be precise. And then this little fun banner, these are from Stylish Shapes, is going to go right there. And I need to find my little fun tweezers. They did not make it back where they were supposed to. Always wind up with glue on my fingers. Always. All right. I have some other tweezers. These alphabets are from the mini alphabet dies. It cuts out all the letters at one time. So you wind up with extras. And white glue on white cardstock is hard to see. Just saying. Come on. Another way to do this, since that's being stubborn, is put you a dot of glue on your silicone mat and dab your letters in that. And then you've got glue where you need it. You might want to lay these on here first to see where they need to go. The finished box size is 6.5 by 5.5 by 3.5. So 3.5 here, 6.5 long, and 5.5 tall. 5 tall, not 5.5. Okie dokie. So let's start with the S now. Get some glue. The puddles of glue will dry on the silicone mat and they'll wipe right off. And where it's kind of squishy because I overdid it, that will dry clear and it will be totally fine. Beck, our finished cards are 4.25 by 5.5. Yes. So these are a little bit bigger to accommodate that. So if you don't have a silicone mat, you need a silicone mat for messy stuff just like this. Isn't that cute? So stylish shapes for the banner and the circle. And then grab something to just blot that. I chose to use these little X marks. They kind of look like little X's to me instead of using the candy cane paper because I wanted it to be able to sit out year round and not be specific, but still be festive enough to use it for the Christmas cards. Let me put the lid on that adhesive and lay this stuff out of the way here so I don't put anything on it. And you want to see all of the other projects that we've made? Yeah. Let's add a little bow. This is my friend Jeannie's most favorite thing to do is tie a bow. Let's add a little bow with our real red and white ribbon. Because bows make things better. Nice. I'm going to leave that tail that long and make this one that long. Blue dot. Put it right. cute, if I do say so myself. And that bow tied better than most bows ever. Let's put the lid on this so I don't pop myself. There we go. All right, let me pull up the pack of all the cards and the projects. So here we go. They are not in any particular order because I don't know where the, here, set you to the side so we can still see you. This was one of the very first ones. Very simple. And then we did another one using the same paper at some point. Candy canes and the buttons. Those buttons are cute. I have, from my pack of buttons, I have 5 buttons left from this project. Super simple. It looks like a quilt to me because I used 2 different pieces of designer series paper. And, oh, one's my sample and one's the one we did. That's why these are so thick. Merry Christmas stockings. Here's a little pouch. You could put tea bags in it. I stuck the tags that we did one night inside there to make it a cute little gift. Here is a cute little bag. I've got my measurements on the bottom so I don't lose them. That one's a stepped up card, or maybe it's the one that we did and the other one's a sample. This is supposed to be tied in a bow, and then it goes like this, and you've got a place to tuck a gift card. Use lots of red. Oh, here's one of my favorites. Capture this. These are from the stitch season, and that's from the capture this. And then I put a little camera. Oh, this was a cutie. A little mini card and envelope. Showing that you don't have to use a whole piece of designer series paper. Did I stamp anything on the inside? Yes, I sure did. And then this, matted it a couple of times so that it looks like it's got a frame around it. That paper was so easy to cut into squares and not have to measure it. This is another gift card holder. I know, Adrienne, a whole month of goodies. This is a toilet paper roll, the cardboard from a toilet paper roll. You just squish it flat and wrap designer series paper around it and put a ribbon. I slid the ribbon inside there so that when you pull it out, it pulls the gift card out easier for you. Oh, this was another fun one. And your gift card holder is right there. They were all fun. Who am I kidding, right? I loved the stocking and I thought, I want to stamp it. So I did. There's buttons. Oh, this one's a goodie. Look at the cues. That's an old Merry Christmas stamp. I put a little paw print from this on the inside. Look at the little fan wheel. Isn't that fun? It's got a naked inside. Sorry. And then this is different pieces of the designer series paper because I had lots of pieces laying over there. This one, I used a new embossing folder and then did our 4 little squares. This one is called a WV card. Look, W and a V. It would show up better if I'd have made those different colors, but I like the snowflakes. This one is a quick flip. So this designer series paper is these and this on the bottom. So you cut it to the size that you want it, and then you cut a strip off and you flip it over so you can see both sides of your designer series paper. Oh, this one's a cutie. And I didn't decorate the outside too much. Put buttons to make it look like pajamas or something. And then you stick your gift card right there. You could add ribbon or glitter or what, but that reminds me of a quilt, and quilts aren't shiny. All right, here's another fun one. This opens this way and this way, and you could put a gift card holder right there. It tucks right in there. Next, flip flop. My pile's getting kind of high, so sorry. And where's the other one similar to that? Oh, here's our little tea bag treat. That's a 6x6 piece of paper. Here's the little t-shirt folded one that we did recently. This was our stepped up card from last night. I like the rain candy canes colored like that. And then here is our loaded envelope. So it's got all of the measurements on the back, so I can go back and you can put stuff in there. And it's got 3 pockets right here, 2 pockets. So lots of room to load that up. Oh, and we can't forget our box, our tall milk carton box. Hang on. Let's see how many cards fit in here. 1, come on, to this. Actually, that's taller than it needs to be. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17. You need to leave room for your envelopes. 18, 19, and 20, 21, 22. And then these little guys could fit right in there as well. Ha ha ha. You're going to ride with you. And here's another one. And the lid. That is a lot of project. But again, I think there's a little over 20 cards in there and projects. So you want to leave room for your envelopes. But that is amazing. Oh, I was sliding this stuff out of the way so I could show you this box. Take my instructions off the side. So this is this should have been a little bit deeper or taller, but there we go. I hope that you've enjoyed the projects one a day, every day in the month of July. It has been interesting and fun. And no, most of the nights I did not know what I was going to make when I sat down to make it. So that's, if you know me, that's pretty much by the seat of my pants kind of thing. So, but I did know this one, and I reached out to Brenda Quintana and asked if I could copy her design, and she said yes. So here it is. It is chock full of all of the cards from this month. You could decorate this if you wanted to, but I think it just gives, you could decorate this if you wanted to, but I think it just gives it the nice little, it looks elegant. And I have made quite a few cards from Fern and Floral. So I am going to make a box like that. Thank you, Michelle, for sharing that project from Brenda Quintana with me, because it is so stinking easy to make. So thank you so much. I hope you guys have a great night. Do something fun for yourself this weekend, and I will see you on the next video. Bye for now. Thanks for watching.